Hey guys, what's up? Your captains are here, full effect. Apologize for last week. Um, Rob had cheerleading, and I was in a porno shoot, so we couldn't make it. No, just kidding. I'm the fluffer.
Yeah.
I
Oh man,
don't know if you, what happened, Rob.
nothing. I'm just busting chops. That's,
Uh, yeah, if you're hurt like I am, I had Meredith and Nelson going yesterday, so we're gonna try to help you guys out on a rebound because I need some help too. Um, Rob, what do we got for games?
yeah. So let's start with bright and early, 9:30 a.m. from England. My New York Football Giants against the Los Angeles Rams.
Well, I think Odell's going to continue to have a big game this week. I don't know if it's 200-yard plus games, but he'll have a good game, I think. Clearly stay away from that Giants running game. Still a mess, if you ask me. I do like Shepard this week and Cruz, but I don't think both of them are going to have huge games. I think you're going to have to flip a coin and hope that one goes off. You know, Gurley's been a disappointment, and the Giants actually have solid run defense, but you could bench him for besides your top running backs, right? Because running backs so slim at this point. And then maybe Kenny Britt. What are your thoughts on Kenny Britt, Rob? What do you got in this game?
Yes. Yeah, I agree with you. Giants running game's a mess. You got to start Gurley. I mean, I think Beckham has a good game. The Rams' pass defense is actually pretty weak for that front seven that they have, and you think they get pressure on the quarterback. So I actually like Shepard. Cruz, yeah, it's a flyer on that side. Britt is tough. I mean, the Giants' pass defense has been fairly weak, and people have passed on them. So, if it would be bye weeks, Calvin Benjamin owner, and you didn't start Ty Montgomery like I did last night, you do that.
Oh, easy there. Why you rubbing into Meredith? You still don't want Meredith for Snead, I guess, now, huh? Because
No,
Hoyer's
Hoyer
out.
Meredith is hot garbage now. Should have sold.
I
All right.
know.
Next up is interesting Saints on the road in Kansas City.
Oh, Saints on the road.
That's why I said on the road.
Yeah, I mean, I think Breeze will still have a solid game. He always does. He's going to put up his 300 yards and a few touchdowns. But everyone else is sort of like a flyer, I think. I think Brandon Cooks had a huge game. You got to play him. You drafted him in like the second or third round. You got to play Brandon Cooks. Someone like Snead, I don't know. Even like Fleeners, he hasn't been too impressive every week either. He's been hit or miss. And what about Ingram?
I disagree with you on Breeze, to be honest with you. I'm hoping as a Breeze owner for 250 and 2 touchdowns if I'm lucky on the road from Breeze. That Chiefs are going to try to control the ball. So I kind of like Spencer Ware and garbage time, and I think Jamal Charles is actually a pretty good start too. I think they could just run the ball and control the clock on the Saints. Yeah, Fleener, I'm rolling with just because, man, after last week, you got to kind of roll with them, and it would be tough to bench him this week. But Saints on the road are always tough. Ingram, I benched this week. He's just not getting it done, and on the road, I'm more scared of him against the Chiefs defense. Cooks, you got to start. Snead, I've benched as well. I'm there's better options out there. I think Kenny Britt's probably a better start than Snead.
Yeah, I agree. And who'd you bench him for there, Rob?
Ty Montgomery.
Had a crappy game?
I started Ty Montgomery over both Ingram and Snead, and I'm very happy with my choice.
Yeah. And on the KC side, I think you could start Macklin and Kelsey. They'll have big games, but other than
you got to start him. I mean, Alex Smith is a flyer quarterback, especially in 2-quarterback leagues. I mean, the Saints defense is weak, but like I said, I think they're going to try to control the ball and run. But I mean, teams have been lighting the Saints up. So
I like Macklin this week. I also like Kelsey, but
all right, let's roll into the Colts at the Titans.
So
I like the Titans defense.
DeMarco Murray, DFS play. DeMarco Murray all day this week, I think. And if you need a flyer, I mean, Mariota might be a good play this week, I think. But if you have better options.
He's a good sell high guy, too. I think Delaney bounces back this week. Murray's a must start every week. I don't trust Kendall Wright yet. He's just not getting the snap, so you don't know where that ball's going to go. But again, the matchup is nice. What do you think on the Colts side? Besides Luck and Ty, is there anyone? Oh, and Doyle, I guess.
I'm starting Doyle over Pitta personally. I know that's sort of like, who would you start with those two guys? So I'm going with Doyle over Pitta just because Allen's out, mainly because Allen's out. Another guy I think you got to start is Frank Gore because their run defense is not the best. And you sort of draft maybe in a flex spot, I would say Gore. And besides Ty on the receiving core,
nope. Dorsett's hot garbage. If the Moncrief owners, has happened a few of my leagues, Moncrief owners dumped him at some point, pick him up. He's coming back in a couple of weeks, and he's going to be a nice waiver wire ad if some of your dumb owners dropped him. A couple of my leagues, it's happened. So I'd go out there, and if he's out there, scoop him up.
Yeah, I totally agree.
All right, here's a real high-scoring game: the Vikings and the Eagles.
Yeah.
Who do you like this one?
Well, to be honest, on Minnesota's defense, I wouldn't start anyone on the Eagles. And maybe Sproles because they're going to be down. He might get some points, but I wouldn't start anyone on. And Jordan Matthews is their guy, but that Minnesota defense is ridiculous this year. On Minnesota's side, I think Diggs is back. Right, but that Eagles defense is solid too.
Yeah, Diggs he didn't practice. I mean, I think he's game time still. He's questionable. And you got a guy like Thielen out there, but McKinnon is an interesting one. He's getting the rock. I actually am starting him in the flex. Starting him over Lacy, obviously because Lacy went on the IR. So I'm starting him over Forte. I had to choose between McKinnon and Forte, and I went with McKinnon. So there's some instances where McKinnon is playable when you're desperate in certain leagues, like myself. Besides that,
of course, Forte's he's been garbage. I got rid of him at the right time, I think.
Yeah, we'll get to that Jets game, but yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly on that one. So, yeah, I mean, Wentz couldn't get it done against the Redskins. I can't imagine him doing anything against the Vikings. So yeah, I mean, this is a fairly fantasy game to avoid.
I agree.
So let's jump into your Cleveland Browns going into Cincinnati.
Cleveland. I mean, I think Cincinnati's going to be pissed off too because they lost last week. Terrell Pryor's not even playing. You know what? The crazy thing I'm contemplating right now is starting Duke Johnson over DeAndre Hopkins because he has. Because I think Duke is going to put up some points because they're going to be down. They're going to dump him the ball. Crowell hasn't done crap in the last 2 weeks. So besides Duke, who would you start anyone else on the Browns?
Nope. No, I agree. I think Duke is a good.
Would you even start Duke for that matter?
In a PPR league, I mean Duke's going to – I think he's – like you said, he's going to get some volume. On the Bengals side, I think A.J. Green has a monster game this week. So I would start Dalton Green. Do you touch the back?
What?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to trust the guy coming off injury if he does play, but I mean the matchup's there. Do you trust him in the back?
I dropped Jesse James. I'm throwing in Eifert in the lineup just because the Browns' defense is so horrible.
Yep.
50% of the snaps, he's a red zone guy. Touchdown at the very minimum.
All right. Nah, I mean that dude is he's not even rosterable, at this point.
Yeah, don't forget about your Cincinnati running backs.
That's what I said.
Start both.
You like Bernard or Hill here? And it's tough. I mean, it seems like a Hill game, but Bernard's pretty much getting the load, and Hill's been banged up.
Play both of them in this situation.
Here's the fun game.
I like Bernard over Hill, but I would play both of them.
Agreed. Now here's the fun game: the worst pass defense in the league, the Detroit Lions against the Washington Redskins. Fire up Redskins offense.
You think what? Like a Garcon and a Crowder and a
Crowder, 100%. I picked up Crowder off waivers, plugged him right in this week with Kelvin Benjamin on a bye for me. He was my replacement there. I love Cousins this week, and Matt Jones has been getting it done. on the ground too.
Yeah,
So and no Reed. No Reed, so you look at the other maybe Garcon and Jackson. I mean, just against this defense, could be startable.
Yeah, I definitely like Matt Jones. Garcon might be might not, right? He's a risk play, but sometimes you need to take those risks. Side, I don't know if I'm touching that backfield. You want Marvin Jones in, right?
Stafford Jones. And Tate's been hot.
And Stafford, I would play Stafford for sure. He's been hot too, but one game.
No, I'm not. Not until it kind of figures itself out.
Who are you going to play, Zener? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Let's move on to the Raiders going into Jacksonville.
Talk about a shootout. That's what I'm calling here. Shootout of the week. Allen Robinson, must start. He's going to blow up like crazy. That running game in Jacksonville still hasn't done anything. So say play Ivory over Yeldon. Mm-hmm. Big game. And Julius Thomas, I think he's back too.
I'm going to rally.
He finally stepped up this week. If Bortles doesn't step up this week, I'm dropping his ass.
I'm starting Bortles this week. I like him this week. I think you said Robinson, big game. I got Cam on a bye, and Bortles is my backup, and I'm glad this is the week that he's coming in as my backup. So, yeah. What about?
I mean, that three-headed monster running game, I don't know, man. Washington's droppable. I'm just waiting for someone to pick up on him that I could worth picking up, but I'm going to drop him soon. But besides Crabtree and Cooper and Carr, anyone else?
Nope, that's I'm the same. I think it's a good Crabtree game. I think Cooper still will get the ball and Carr. Yeah, I don't touch that backfield. It's a hot hand backfield, and it's tough. It's tough to deal with.
Agreed.
All right. How about speaking of a hot hand in the backfield? If you listen to us when we talk about waiver pickups, the Buffalo Bills against the Miami Dolphins.
No. Miami. I mean, pick up the Bills' defense this week. I would say that Ajayi game was a fluke. I don't think he's gonna do that well every week. I picked up the Bills' defense. I like them this week. I think McCoy's out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is a couple of weeks. This is why you picked up Jalisi or Galisi or whatever his name is. Put him in your starting lineup.
Starting lineup for sure. Besides him, maybe Tyrod. If you need to stream a quarterback, I'm not touching anyone else on the Bills besides their defense and Galisi. What about you?
Yeah, I mean Robert Woods has been okay, but there's better out there. Yeah, I agree. And I don't like Tyrod at all. He's not been good for fantasy purposes. And on the Dolphins side, Ajayi, like you said, a hot game, but the Bills are a tough defense to play against. You maybe Devontae Parker, and I mean Landry. You're starting still every week. Yeah,
the only one I would play is Landry. If you need Ajayi. The only one I'm comfortable starting is Landry.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. Here's your New York Jets against that Ravens great run defense and the Jets crappy pass defense. So go for it, Powell.
Listen, Geno, a must start.
All right, we're trying to get viewers. I mean, that's it.
Oh, you're right.
There goes our credibility.
Yeah. Right? No, stay away from the only one. There's two people I would start on the Jets, and that's Brandon Marshall and PR. Other than that, because the Jets are going to be down, he gets the ball. Besides those two guys, Jets are a hot mess. And we'll see what Geno could do. He's been complaining that he didn't have the right weapons. Now he does. Okay, Geno, go.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Anything else?
No, I agree. As a Powell owner, you got to hope that Geno checks down. He might be one of those quarterbacks that runs first instead of checks down to the running back, and that hurts Powell a bit. But yeah, I mean, it's the kind of game flow. It screams Powell. And yeah, he's going to force the ball to Marshall. I wouldn't start Nunwa because you don't know what kind of connection with him is being run the second team.
Yeah.
On the Ravens side, I love Wallace this week. I mean, hope Flacco plays. You got to watch that. It makes a big difference. But that Jets defense, all it does is give up big passing plays. And Wallace, all he does is make big passing plays. So I love Wallace. West should be okay, but the Jets do a decent run defense.
Yeah. I think Steve Smith Sr. is back this week or no? I forget.
I have to look at the injury.
He's in, I would pop him in too. But other than that, yeah, I don't like anyone else. And if Flacco doesn't play, I wouldn't play any receiver.
Yeah, I agree. Without Flacco in there, yeah, it totally takes the whole Wallace play off the table. Here's a good one for you and you Jacquez Rogers owners. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing the worst run defense in the league, which is the San Francisco 49ers.
Jacquez, Rob loves that I picked him up Monday before the waivers, right?
My pickup.
In a while. I got Rodgers and Galeese, so it's my new running back tandem now. But that's the joys of fantasy football, right? I'm playing Rodgers for sure because, like you said, that run defense is horrible. Obviously, you're playing Mike Evans. He's going to get like 15 targets like he does every week and be a beast. Other than those two guys, I would play Jameis Winston this week too because it sucks. But other than those three guys, anyone else in good old Tampa?
Yep. Absolutely. With Vincent Jackson out, Humphreys. Winston likes Humphreys, and with no Jackson, I think Humphreys is going to get the ball. And like you said, it's a good matchup. So I like Humphreys as a good flex wide receiver with bye weeks this week.
Yeah, if you're thin, yeah, he's a good, but he's a hit or miss. He's not. We'll see.
And we can't forget about Brate either. A tight end.
Cameron Brate, he's been solid. He hasn't been great, but he's been definitely serviceable in a thin tight end position.
On the Niners side, you're playing Mike Davis or Sean Drone this week?
If anyone, Davis is going to play more than Drone, but I don't know, man.
So I don't think there's anybody in San Fran I would touch this week.
If you're super desperate, flyer for a guy that can make a big play, maybe Torrey Smith. Kaepernick was bombing him to him last week. That's the only reason I say that.
No, I heard when he almost reached him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Kaepernick's accuracy is another question. So. Yep.
Now's a game with some good fantasy relevance. The Chargers and the Falcons. There's two defenses that give up some fantasy points here.
Yeah, I'm playing Travis Benjamin. I hope he plays. I know he's a little banged up with the knee, but I think he's going to play. I hope he does. If not, I'm benching Hopkins for some crazy reason, but I got to go with my gut on this one. Chargers too. Obviously, you're playing Gordon. He's been solid. He has a good matchup.
He's got a good matchup.
Falcons
he looked awful. I benched him for Galeese in one of my leagues. It's just, it's a good matchup, but he's 3.5 yards a carry. I mean, he gets the ball. He doesn't really get all the passes. Kuhn's stealing his goal line carry. So, he's okay. But I don't love Gordon. I like Tyrell Williams, and I love Hunter Henry.
Like Tyrell Williams. He's going to get a lot of touches. I like Henry too. Gates is on his way out. It seems like he's getting less and less snaps, but a lot of touches. So I think you got to play him. But touches too with McCoy out. So I see. I get your point. Falcon side, Julio, the two-headed monster running game. Anyone else there?
Yeah, Matt Ryan, Julio. Besides that, Sanu could be a good play this week. Against Chargers D.
Desperate.
Again, it's with bye weeks, people and injuries, There's definitely guys there, also for DFS purposes, you need a cheap option. There's a lot of good cheap running backs this week, so you could really load up on wide receivers in DFS. But, you can run Rodgers, Galeese out there and then load up with the big wide receivers. So,
that's true.
All right, we got next is the Patriots and the Steelers. This should be interesting. Can Antonio Brown catch up? a touchdown pass from any other quarterback besides Big Ben.
I know. And then I think Le'Veon's a must start. I lean on him a lot. Jesse James' value is almost gone, right? Especially with Green coming back maybe this week. He's but I don't like anyone besides Le'Veon Bell on Pittsburgh.
But you have to start Antonio Brown. You have to.
I agree. You have to start. You're not benching Antonio Brown, but
right. I mean, Coates.
I'm not comfortable. Like I have to start.
Right. No, I agree. I mean, Coates' value is completely lost. With Landry in there too. So yeah, that's how that is. What about on the Patriots side?
On the Patriots side, I think you got to start Blunt. I just get nervous on like Belichick, right? Because White had a huge game last week, but Belichick this week, you're like, oh yeah, it's Bolden's game this week, So I just get nervous. But you got to start Brady and Edelman, and I like Hogan every week. He's been solid too, and also the tight ends Gronk and Bennett. You got to start both of those guys too. But anyone else you like on the Patriots? What do you think of the running game? You trust White again this week after last? I mean, he had a huge game last week.
I know it's the back to the typical Patriots backfield where it annoys you on a weekly basis. So, but yeah, I mean, it's sounds like a good White. It sounds like a better Blunt matchup because you would think they're playing with the lead with Landry in there, but you never know with the Patriots. Yeah. All right, we got Seattle versus Arizona.
Arizona, besides the Brown and Floyd has been like alternating, right? 1 week, one has a decent game, the next week, and so those guys are. I don't know who's going to be there, but Fitz and Johnson, I like.
Yeah, Seattle's a much improved defense. Yeah, and Palmer is just not throwing a ball deep and stuff. I mean, yeah, Fitz is good in the PPR. I'm not really liking any of the other wide receivers there. And yeah, of course, Johnson's a must start. On Seattle's side, I mean, Christian Michael, he's again startable. I mean, not going to have the big week he had last week, but he's there. I mean, do you throw it a Baldwin or a Lockett this week? What do you think?
I'm done with Lockett, so don't ask me about that chooch. But I do like Baldwin this week.
And it could be a good Jimmy Graham game.
Jimmy Graham's a must start every week, I think, from here on out because he's sort of playing better with Russell Wilson. They got a good connection going on, I think.
Yep. All right, last game. Brock Osweiler getting revenge against his Denver Broncos. All Hopkins all day, Frank.
After Von Miller says, "Yeah, I got nothing against Brock, but I want to rip his head off," right? I don't see Houston scoring any points. I'm hoping for a Lamar. I am starting Lamar Miller because he had a hot game, and you could run on Denver. You could run on Denver. Other than Miller or anyone else that you want to start on? I mean, guys, start Hopkins, right? I have different options, so I'm not starting Hopkins. I'm down 30 points because Cobb went off yesterday, so I need someone with a big risk reward. That's why I'm benching Hopkins, all right? So don't, and Hopkins got a great schedule from here on out. So, I don't try to drop him or anything, but it's just my personal preference. I need someone with a higher ceiling than I think Hopkins has this week.
No, I mean, I agree. I mean, you play your studs. It's tough to bench them. To your point, though, their schedule is amazing. The Texans' schedule from here on out, basically until championship week for both Miller and Hopkins. So if you could buy low and trade for either of them, absolutely do it for those nervous owners. Go after them. I wish you weren't the owner of Hopkins, Frank, because I'd go after them. But you're not as nervous.
Bring it on.
But
I will want Snead for Hopkins. All right, I know you and your.
But
Snead and Ingram, I know Snead and Ingram.
2 for 1. All right, so yeah, no, I mean the Texans. Yeah, I mean besides Miller and Hopkins, I'm not starting anyone else there. And then Denver side, C.J. Anderson, Emmanuel Thomas. Anyone else there you're liking?
Not really. If you're really desperate at running back, Booker's been getting probably 40% of the work. He's going to put up 5 to 8 points. He's not going to crush it for you. But maybe he sneaks in the end zone.
Well, that's what you got to hope he either rips one off right or sneaks in the end zone. I mean, he's definitely a very high risk play, but I mean, he's definitely one to stash. He's definitely they like him, but you know, I don't think he's going to steal the starting job outright. But you know, he's one injury away from becoming a fantasy stud.
Yeah, and they've been giving him the ball more than not more than CJ, but like I said, 40% now.
Great, and that's it. That's week 7 slate.
All right, guys. Hopefully you can get out of a jam if you're in like me. Good luck this week. Like us on Facebook. Download the app. Ask us questions. Oh, we didn't answer any questions this week, but sorry about that. But you know, we'll get to the waiver wire on Monday too this week. See ya.
See ya.